conserve the earth for future generations?
I think it's very important to conserve the earth for future generations. I think whether you're talking about natural resources or just the recreation and enjoyment of it or other things' right to live and exist, the thought of future generations not having access to those things is really sad, and it also threatens their own ability to thrive and survive. So I think it's very important that we take care now to make sure that generations in the future can have what they have.
My name is Ivan Watson. I work for the city of Bellingham, and today I'm operating this vehicle behind us, commonly known as a Vector truck.
And my name is Chris Jaycox. I'm a utility worker for the city of Bellingham as well, and I'll be operating this camera inspection van up ahead of us. I think the most important part is just being able to stay on top of everything, make sure that if there's an oil spill or something, we can get to the catch basin and suck it up before it gets any further. If it's on the road, we can clean it up, sweep it up before it gets to the catch basins and the rivers.
Well, I believe that there's climate change that happens periodically through our environment. I believe that our ice caps retreat and they thrive at the same time. I believe that every time that a tectonic plate moves, that we're going to get a different type of movement, whether it be a tidal wave, whether it be a volcano, whether it be an earthquake. Our Earth is very volatile. I believe that scientists are doing a good job to try to understand the Earth's movements, but at the same time, we need to have a clear understanding of what is actually going on and not overestimate the things that are going to happen.
What do you have to say to politicians in power?
I have a lot to say to politicians in power, but mainly start doing stuff because there's not a lot of time, and we can't just do it all by ourselves because we don't have that much power, and you need to do that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how urgent is the climate crisis?
I think it's definitely higher than a 10 because it's a really urgent issue that we don't have that much time to solve.
Do you think being younger is influencing your opinion on environmental issues?
Yes, I do think that being younger has a huge influence on my opinion because it's the future that we're growing up into, so we're gonna kind of have to deal with it if no one else does, and that's kind of motivating me to do more about it because it's a little bit scary.
Humans are at the root of a huge system or cycle, a domino effect. Every decision, like littering or building a refinery, breaks or makes the environment a little more. Our environment is falling apart because of three major things: cars and refineries, oil spills, and storm drain runoff. Okay, so I guess four. Let's start with cars and refineries. Cars and refineries release carbon into the air, which grabs onto the oxygen. This oxygen that gets breathed in by humans and animals, affecting our respiratory systems. Thank God for trees, since they take in the carbon. But they're getting cut down, so what happens when they're all gone? Next, oil spills. This is pretty self-explanatory. The oil spills into the water, often in very large amounts, and then you've got polluted water. This affects a large number of things. All of the animals and plants. For example, a big one that's happening right now is the salmon. They are quickly declining in population. This then affects the whales and other animals, and the whales just lost some of their own. Don't make them lose their food source too. The loss of the salmon is also affecting the Lummi tribe due to their deep connection to the salmon that goes back for generations. It's their entire culture. Finally, runoff. This affects the water as well. When it rains, the water runs down into the storm drains, taking whatever was in its path along with it. Oil, cat and dog feces, car wash soap, all of these things go into the drain and into the ocean since this water goes untreated. Pollution tears apart ecosystems. Are you going to let it tear apart our entire planet?